So here I am on the way to get my fillers. Here I am, see? Standing kind of still. So we shall see. Well, here I am in the after. This is simply amazing to me. It is absolutely amazing. I mean, it's downright startling. I'm still a little numb and it doesn't feel bumpy or anything, but this is amazing. The lighting might be a little different because it's, a couple hours later, but I'm moving my mouth so that you can see. This is worth every penny. Hi everyone, it's Lulu. How are you today? I'm good. This is my after Radiesse video. I am going to chat about my experience. I'm very, very happy with the results. I'm going to try to cover everything: cost, pain, long, why, what. And if I don't cover it, or if you have any questions, certainly post them and I'll do my best to get back to you as quickly as possible. And we'll see how it goes. I'm also, after this one, I'm going to be loading a January favors video, and my goal in the January favors is I filmed half of them before Radiesse, wearing the exact same clothes and makeup, everything was exactly the same. And I'm going to do the other half right after this video and kind of splice the two so that you really could see, or not see, I think see, the before and after. So you'll see me do one product before Radiesse and then the next product after Radiesse, and hopefully I got all the makeup, etc. right, and you'll be able to really see the difference, I hope. In person, you can really see the difference. Okay, so I'm going to try to keep this short, but I think probably if you're watching this, you're interested in Radiesse and eating up all the details, and I don't want to rush through this, but at the same time I realize you have better things to do than watch me do a video. Why? Why did I do it? I'm in my mid-50s. I see myself in the mirror all the time. I see pictures. I see myself all the time. I'm very aware of my nose to mouth lines. You could probably look at my first Holy Communion pictures when I was 8 years old and see them. I have very prominent cheeks. No matter where I have been in my life, how thin, how not thin, the face has been the same. And I have a lot of good chubby cheeks. And it helps keep a person looking young, in my opinion, but that's just my opinion. Anyway, I started this YouTube channel. The first time I saw myself on camera, I could hardly, I didn't hear the words, I didn't see what I was doing, I didn't see what I was showing. All I could do was look at these. And I literally hung up the phone and started going through all my Groupon deleted emails and Living Social and Amazon Local looking for any kind of coupon I could find for fillers, and I did. And it was just that fast. Vanity, that would be Lulu. I have no problem admitting that. So that's why I did it. Somehow seeing myself in video was a whole new level of, oh my goodness, those are serious nose to mouth lines. I have notes that I can remember. Oh, I wanted to mention, I have what I think impeccable skincare. I was not a sun worshiper in my early years. I think in high school, the summers, yes, but I was never one that all life long or did sports or, bathed in baby oil and the foil and didn't do the tanning booth thing. So I have good genes. My mom has great skin. I have great skincare. I wear SPF every day, 365 days a year. I've probably been doing that for the past 10 or 15 years. I've been on prescription Retin-A for about 15 or 20 years. My skincare routine is simple but effective. I've gone through periods of very complicated skincare and all those little bottles and the really expensive brands, and then I've done drugstore level, and I've done it all. Believe me, I've done it all. Never had anything, didn't go for peels or lasers or anything like that professionally, microdermabrasion. But again, I think I've had really great skincare. I've tried it all, and I will tell you hands down, there is nothing any bottle, lotion, potion could do. I don't care how long you use it. that this can do. I think the best you can do is SPF and a retinol or a retin-A, or there's artificial matrixyl combinations, peptides. There's so much out there now, but obviously nothing could take the place of help, external help. I did as much research as I could. I talked to everyone that I knew who had it done. I had no problem telling everybody I was having this done. I wanted to know their experience. I got their advice. I did a little research on the internet, watched YouTube videos, felt like I was as prepared as a civilian, non-medical person could be that had never had it done. Went in, and I had the procedure. It was a plastic surgeon's office. The procedure was done, though, by his RN. She had been doing fillers and injections for 12 years. Prior to that, she was a surgical nurse, and she had been with this practice 2 years. Her name was Michelle, and I will tell you, I've been to a lot of doctors. My husband's been to doctors, and we have children. You know a good doctor, you know a not so good doctor. You have great nurses, and honestly, you have not so great nurses. You, like anything, you have car mechanics and plumbers and teachers and house cleaners and I don't know, whatever, cashiers. You know when you have a good one. So although I've never had anything done like this, she was remarkable. She took her time. She asked questions. She had me ask questions, and she knew it was, the first time I was having fillers done. I will tell you, I sat down and I said to her, I want to see a difference. I don't want anything subtle. I don't want the word diminished. I want to know that this was done, and I have no problem if everybody who knows me knows this was done. If I'm going through this pain and this cost, this was a big decision. I want to see a difference. I want to get in my car after I'm done and go, okay, I've had something done. And I said to her, the other important thing is the Living Social coupon bought 1 syringe. And I said to her, I am prepared to buy a second syringe. I want to be healthy about this, but if you feel I need more, then let's go for a second syringe or whatever it takes. I'm ready for that. And it took 2 syringes. She could have accomplished this with 1 syringe, but she felt more than 1 would probably be better, and I was like, that's fine. She used Juvederm down here, and so I think this was 1.5 Radiesse, and this was half a syringe of Juvederm. She chose Juvederm here, I believe, because it is a different consistency. This area is more vascular. Juvederm would have had less bruising, easier to maneuver. Radiesse is very good for medium to deep, and I think everyone will agree I had deep crevices. And she also said that if there was any Radiesse left, which she did, she would put some hair, not to give me cheekbones, heaven knows I have big enough cheeks, but with something under the surface, it would do a little lifting. She was very honest with me. She said, these are not going to be gone. She said, this, your face structure is such that you have large cheeks, there's a lot of skin, and unless you go in for, literally a lift to pull this, however they do it, I'm still going to have this, which is fine, because most women do. Most women do. And so she was really very, very honest, gave me good expectations, but also understood that, you know what, I'm okay with you going a little more as long as it's safe and healthy. So it was good. She was incredible. She kept stopping, asking me how I was, kept walking up to the front of me and looking, and had me sit up, back, faced forward, this, that, gave me the mirror before, after, took pictures, constantly asking me how I'm doing, but really just kept going back and making adjustments, a little here, a little there. It started with numbing cream here, and then she went to get the syringes and the fillers, so maybe I sat for 3 or 4 minutes. How well the numbing cream worked, I don't know. I've never had it done without it, so I don't know how it was with it. And the Radiesse itself has lidocaine in it, so it itself has a pain-numbing substance in there. And after that, she put the ice pack on me, and then she was very clear about, okay, I'm about to do this right now, I felt the pin prick. There's no doubt about it. I don't like pain. I have 0 tolerance for pain. if you have, if you're married or not married or have a brother or father and they get the flu, as my friend Susan said, the world has come to an end. You know, you look at them, they have a little cold, and I'm the same way. I have no tolerance for pain. Zero, nothing, nada. I'm not one of those women who could, you know, go have a child in the field. I would be dead. And I don't like needles. I got married back in the day when they had to take a blood test. You had to have a blood test before you got married to see if you had any sexually transmitted diseases. And it took them 2 hours. As a matter of fact, it was a week before the wedding, and I said, that's it, I'm not getting married. I cannot do this, you're not putting a needle in me, and the wedding's off. I mean, that's how bad it was. I sat for 2 hours in the hallway of the hospital just crying with my fiance at the time, husband now, not knowing what to do with me. I don't like needles. So I understand both of those things. And the pain was probably on the level of if you've had a tooth extracted or a root canal and they have to give you those shots, and some of those shots are worse than others. This is probably as bad as the worst ones, but you only feel it when the needle is actually puncturing the skin. You don't feel it while she's in there. You know, it's not the constant pain the whole time she's in there. And probably maybe 4 or 5 different pricks here. I think there were 2 here. And it's interesting, she worked the longest, not the longest, but considering it was only half a syringe, she really worked, I think, very diligently down here with the Juvederm. And she kept going from side to side, which the longer it went on, the better it was, because the lidocaine started taking effect from the previous injection. So that was good. And yeah, so that was really good, and it got better and better. Plus, I think I was simply less nervous. I was expecting some cannon-sized drill. They were going to go into my bones. I don't know what I was expecting. I was terrified. However, the vision of me on YouTube was far more terrifying than the thought of this pain. And did I mention how vain I am? I have no problem admitting that. And so she was magnificent. And oh, by the way, after she did several injections, she took her hand, of course gloved, and went inside and rubbed from the inside and outside to kind of move the gel around. I guess Radiesse is the consistency of toothpaste. And so that was interesting. I didn't feel any lumps or bumps. I felt a little bit the next day on the inside down here. I didn't feel anything, any lumpiness, any bumpiness at all. She said I could come back in a couple of weeks if I found any. And these are now gone. I had this done Friday at noon, and this is now Monday at noon. And as of yesterday, everything was normal. I did not have any bruising. In doing my research, friends and family said for a week before, I'm not on any aspirin or fish oil or anything like that, but if you are, talk to your doctor, because clearly your heart health is more important than this. But friends had advised not to take any aspirin or ibuprofen, fish oil, if I was just taking that as a matter of course, because all of that thins the blood and causes more bruising, period. And so I wasn't on that. They did say to take Tylenol before you walk in the door, and to go buy Arnica gel, A-R-N-I-C-A, Arnica gel. And it's a topical gel. Get it at, I got it at a local health food store, which, I don't go to those, but, I imagine if you're near a Trader Joe's or a Whole Foods, just your local vitamin shop probably has it. And it was like $5 for a little tube. It comes in tablet form and topical gel form. I got the gel form. And it was interesting because she had started talking to me and said to help with bruising, she was going to use if I wanted, she would put patches on me of arnica. I said, oh, I have some in the car. And she said, good, you really have done your research. I'm like, oh, trust me, this is a terrifying experience. And, but the patches they have are 50 times more potent, and they just look like gel patches. And I had to she only put them down here, which was interesting, because she, again, felt that I was pretty, just okay here. And she cut them into size down here. She said to keep them on for 6 hours and then to sleep in them at night, which I did. And I found them on my pillow in the morning. They must have come off. I'm a face sleeper. So, anyway, so I had no bruising. I think I had one little, I wouldn't call it a bruise. I could just see the puncture wound here, but not even to the point. My regular foundation covered it. I didn't even need to use extra concealer. Uh, so that hopefully addresses the pain, the needles, the cost. Took about an hour total. I think next time it'll take half the time. A lot of that was spent talking, setting expectations, and she kept stopping and, you know, how are you? Are you okay? Do you want to take a look? She would give me the mirror. I would look. You know, so I think probably we could get it accomplished in less time the next time, and there will be a next time. If I've started my penny jar for the next, I really have. There's no doubt. And I have notes here that I'm looking at to make sure I can see everything. Did I mention why she put it in the cheek? I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. She had said to me if she had any left, she would put it here because I wouldn't have any fuller cheeks. I think I already did say this, but underneath it might do just an extra little bit of lifting that would maybe help even more, particularly since I was looking for a significant difference. And did that help or not? Again, I've never had it done, so I don't know what it would have looked like without it, but she felt it made a difference when she was, you know, stepping back and making me look up, down, sideways. She felt that it was, you know, but I think they have trained eyes. They can see subtle differences. Let me think what else. The day after. Saturday, I mean, I think you're going to see when I try to insert the before and after, so I'm going to do my best to do that. I was flat. I was almost, I mean, which was fine with me. If it stayed flat, oh my, I would have been happy. But it was really unnatural looking. It was almost like plastic surgery, which, again, if I have plastic surgery, I will tell everyone, and I have no problem admitting it. But it was very flat. And I was hoping maybe some naturalness would come back, because we all naturally have this area. And my top lip was numb. It just wasn't natural. And now I realize I couldn't tell you. If you looked at me, you would not think I was swollen. But I was swollen enough where these were flat because, you know, the swelling pushed out, and what it was doing was pulling my lip. And I was, even when I was talking, I felt like my top teeth weren't showing. It was a little odd. And my sisters even noticed. And by Sunday, today, I'm completely normal. I feel normal, I'm talking normal, my lip is moving normally. So I was a little concerned on Saturday that it was a little too flat and what is going on with my top lip. But, and then I felt a little lump, not externally, but inside my lip down here. Sunday, everything is gone, cleared, happy, fine. And so that's kind of my story. I'm very, very happy with it. I think a lot had to do with my willingness to buy a second syringe, although I think one syringe, you know, would have been okay. Probably not the effect I wanted with the how deep my lines are. And I think as I look around, as I go shopping or at the bank or just driving around, most women who I perceive to be my age do have these lines, but not nearly as badly as I do that. And I don't say that from vanity. I think, you know, there's no doubt that the cheek factor and the gravity factor. And so I think one syringe for most people would be fine. So what is that, maybe 350-ish? And I think my willingness to go to 2, because I did have a much more pronounced nose-to-mouth line. I think Michelle made all the difference in the world as well. She heard what I said. She was honest in her feedback of what she could and could not accomplish, what the Radiesse could and could not accomplish. And the fact that she kept going back in for adjustments and looking at me, and we had a good time, and we were laughing. I kept saying to her, I can't believe this is as easy as it is. I was expecting, I was terrified. I mean, there's just no other word to put it. I was terrified. So there's my story. If you have questions, please leave them below. I will try to answer them the best I can. If I have to make another video to do so, I will. And I recommend this. I feel like I think perhaps I said earlier, it's not even a youthfulness. It is that I look happier. I look more approachable. I look more engaging. I look more like me, who I am, my positive attitude, my happiness. I don't look haggard. I don't look mean. I don't look like I've had a hard life, or because I haven't.
I wasn't a sun worshiper. I don't know. I just feel like now I look more the way I feel. I feel like my face more matches my personality now in a good and happy way versus looking at me at, thinking, oh dear, don't talk to her. She's not having a good day. So, and I know I've always been a very smiley person. So again, probably between the cheeks and heredity and all the smiling I do, that my lines were more pronounced. I think that answers everything. So I hope this helped. I hope this helped you make a decision or not make a decision or start your penny jar or do whatever you need to do. This was right for me. I'm thrilled I did it. I'm very happy with the results. I will be doing this again and again. And quite honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if I start a penny barrel and go in for something someday, because that's how I am. And so feel free to ask questions. If you know someone who's thinking about this, share the video. I'll try to answer the questions. And as always, please be safe out there and have a great day. Bye.